What is going on, San Antonio? Welcome back to another episode of Taco Talk. Today we are joined by one of the many individuals who makes Fiesta run. You may have seen him around in different events. We are joined by Garrett Heath of SA Flavor. Garrett, thank you so much for joining us today, man.
Yeah, man.
So excited.
Man, you're at one of my favorite spots too, Maria's. This is the place.
Perfect. What's your go-to taco from here, or what do you get?
Oh, here, it's kind of crazy because you walk in and you have the wall of fame, right? If you're anyone in San Antonio, we have the Mi Tierra Wall of Fame with the mural, but if you're anyone, you got your own special taco at Maria's.
Absolutely. Run me through a little bit about yourself, man. Were you born and raised in San Antonio? Were you not? Tell me a little bit about Garrett.
Yeah, so I was born in West Texas, actually in the Panhandle. We kind of bounced around a little bit when I was younger. Went to college out in West Texas, and then I moved here, I can't believe it now, 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So this is the longest place I've lived in my life now. Call it home. I love it. And it's a special city, and we've really seen it grow up since I've been here for 10 years or 20 years. It's just been insane.
How long have you been, with SA Flavor? I know you've been doing a lot of work with them, as far as like the medals go, Fiesta Medals. What's that process been like for you?
Yeah, so it's SA Flavor kind of started, it was 2009. It was originally like SanAntonioJoe.com, where we go around and eat a lot of places. And it started because I realized at the time, it wasn't like, rewind 16 years ago, it was a very different landscape. And everyone here who was young was like, oh, I wish I was in Austin or whatever. Right. I was like, no, we have every bit of what Austin has, but you got to look for it. Right, it was kind of a hidden, and so I wanted to shine the light. So that's where that blog started. And then in 2012, my friend had the URL SA Flavor, and she's like, and coincidentally, I went to a Fiesta event, a poster unveiling with media, right? Because I was a blogger, right? So I went there, and she goes, "Well, who are you with?" And I go, "SanAntonioJoe.com." And this lady looked at me from the Fiesta Commission. She's like, "That is the worst name I've ever heard." So I went back to work, and I was telling my friend about this, and she goes, "Well, I have SAFlavor.com. Do you want it?" I'm like, "Yeah." How much are you gonna sell it? She goes, "I'll give it to you." And so I got it, and so that's when we kind of transformed it. And then in 2015, I thought, all right, I'm gonna make my own metal.
Right.
My background's in industrial engineering, so manufacturing and supply logistics, all that stuff. I kind of knew. I was getting some quotes, and I was like, you know what? I'll just do this myself. And so I sourced out my own manufacturer that I've been with for now 10 years, and we worked together and made the first metal to kind of promote the blog. And the metal was is that one right there.
This is the first
this
metal.
one, this one.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the remake.
That's
that's
the
right.
remix.
That's right.
And so that was the very first metal that we did, and it was a Big Red and Barbacoa, which is super hard to represent Big Red.
Yeah.
Or sorry, not Big Red. Barbacoa on a metal. It's super hard because it just metals are 2D and they're flat, and I tell a lot of people it's like paint by numbers. So Barbacoa is really tricky to make look like, but it kind of looks something else sometimes on a metal. Yeah. And so you had to be creative, so we did the cow head for it. And so we did that, and then I had the craziest story. There's a guy, Aaron Passmore, local 210, and he goes, "Hey man, I want your metal." He's like, I said, "Well, dude, my kid's been, have a 1-year-old. I don't know how I'm going to meet you up." He goes, "I said, but I am going to Nyosa on, Thursday." He goes, "I will meet you at Nyosa." I said, "Bro, there's no way we're going to meet up at Nyosa." He goes, "No." He's like, "I will find you." I said, "Okay." He goes, "I'm going to trade you my metal," because he just got married. I said, "Fine." He somehow, I have no idea to this day how Aaron found me. He found me in there. He traded the metal. He's like, "Give me your email." He's like, "I want you to make my metal next year." So cool. Oh, wow. So I ended up making Aaron's metal in 2016, and it was such a good design. I was like, "Hey, it's like a riff on a sugar skull." I said, "Hey, why don't you let me sell it, and I'll, give you a licensing fee." He's like, "Cool." So we did that, and then it hit me. I was like, Aaron, he just wants a hot metal. He wants one of the best, right? He wants it to look good. He wants it to kind of really hit. they care about licensing. And so that's where I came up with our model. And so we kind of do things a little differently at SA Flavor as a metal manufacturer. We'll do wholesale, so we'll make metals for like Texas Public Radio, Meals on Wheels, and Kins 5.
Right.
But then also what we'll do, I'll find people in the Fiesta metal community. We'll make them some metals that they get 100 at cost, but they let me sell them, and then we donate $1 to a nonprofit of their choice.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
So we started doing that in 2017. Pandemic hit 2020, and everyone shut down, but we had a good website that was rocking and rolling, and so we started selling a lot of nonprofits metals for a small commission to handle postage, packing, handling, all this and that. And sold the Fiesta Commission's poster metal, went through a bunch of them for the Fiesta Commission, raised a bunch of money for them, for NIOSA, for a lot of these nonprofits that just didn't have the channel.
Right.
And so that clicked too. I'm like, wait, we can start selling other people's metals. So we started doing that, and we'll charge a small commission that if we make their metal, we lower it by a little bit too. And so through those two efforts, since 2017, SA Flavor has donated over $350,000 to local San Antonio nonprofits. And so it's been an amazing experience. We've been able to kind of take this and really go nuts. They always say Fiesta's a party with a purpose.
Yeah.
And I had someone, it was years ago, before she passed, Joyce Slocum at Texas Public Radio, the CEO, she said something along the lines that really hit with me. She said, to do good, I need to do well. And that really landed with me. And it's building this donation back, it puts you on the hook. It makes you, it's always easy. Oh, well, when I get to here, I'm going to, give back. No, so we've been giving back from day one, and it's really been awesome. It's really cool because the metal community supports me and my family.
Absolutely.
We support the community of San Antonio. Our employees are paid well. It's just this really win-win-win situation, and everyone gets the hottest metals in San Antonio. As SA Flavor, we always have the 3 little fire emojis because they're always going to be one of the tops in the city.
You're known for your hats, the crazy hats.
Oh yeah.
Last year you did Back to the Future to match the metal that you all had done last year. Any insight for what you're doing this year?
Woo! This one. So this is gonna. Man, I got a bum shoulder this year. So I got a bum shoulder. It's I got this frozen shoulder that's giving me fits, and I can't lift over my head very well. So I don't know. I might go for a very light hat.
Okay,
so that way I can maneuver a little bit better. I feel like I've done Fiesta without a hat. And I mean, you like to think the things with the hats. Okay, you need to come by the store, and I'm gonna put a hat on loan. At the store, we have all our old hats at the top. And it's funny, you do Fiesta with a hat, and you're walking around, and you think everyone knows you. They don't know who you are. It's like Clark Kent, you throw on the glasses, no one knows. You take them off, all of a sudden you're Superman. Everyone's wanting to take pictures. Man, you take off the hat, you're just walking around. You haven't Fiesta till you have a 20-pound thing on your head. You're walking around. It's nuts. And Pin Pan is always fun. You'll see tons of folks with hats. But this year I haven't quite nailed it down. I gotta give a big shout out on my hat. So my wife first made them, and she's like, never. Well, actually, I worked with Claire Nicole for one hat. She's crafty too. Then my wife made a couple, and then I've been working with Starline. Starline on Bandera. And those guys are nuts. They are so good. They build them up, and it's almost like a cake to layer it. I don't even know. I just come in with my ideas, and here you go.
These tacos look amazing. These are just insane. We're gonna go ahead and dive in and then get right on into some more questions.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, look at this bacon. This is, to me, what makes Maria's is this. The thick cut bacon. Sorry for all the vegetarians out there, but man, the bacon, bacon's what makes it.
Just the filling, it's thick. I know earlier off camera you talked a little bit about SA Flavor and bringing in the community, to sell items and things like that. What has that process been like? Seeing small businesses, individuals like that come to you guys, just run into them too, by chance, how you said that.
Yeah.
What's all that been like for you?
Well, so when we opened up the store, and we opened it up on Zarzamora and Woodlawn, one of the first things we wanted to do was partner with people in the community. Barbacoa Apparel was one of our flagship kind of groups that we're selling in our store. We still have them. We love Barbacoa Apparel. They've always been one of my favorite designers in town, Matt, Nydia, and Richard. They're just great people. So we wanted to carry them. And so we moved after Christmas of 23 over to, Huebner Oaks. need a little bit more bigger space with parking. We didn't have very much parking. So we moved over there, and our store almost doubled, and we didn't have ways to fill it up. So it looked like we had run a clearance sale. You know, there wasn't a lot in there, and so people would come in. This one lady, Heidi from Hippie Glass, she ends up doing yoga right next door to us at the Union. She goes, "Hey, I make these candles. You know, would you sell them?" And like, this was during the height of Fiesta. I'm like, just so busy. I'm like, okay, we'll get to it. And she kind of got sick of me, like, putting her off. She's like, so she showed up with this box of candles. She goes, "Listen, put them out there. Sell them for whatever you want. You keep them. I'm going to show you that these candles are hot." I'll be darned. Heidi knew what's up. Everyone loves them. She'll do like this, like really cool, like reclaimed glass. Like she'll cut the Topo Chico bottles or wine bottles or tequila bottles and fill it up with scented candles.
That's so cool.
And so she was one, a person who's been selling there. Another person is Tiffany Vargas, and she's Vibrant and Free Boutique. And so Tiffany works a lot of like pop-ups and stuff. But one of her friends left her ID in our store. And so she came to pick it up because she lived in an apartment next door to our store. And she goes, "Well, I make earrings." And we're like, "Okay, well, we might buy them." And so she showed them, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, these things are great." Veronica's like, "We gotta get these, Garrett." I said, "Okay." So we've been carrying her earrings, and they kill it. She always has like great, Fiesta earrings. So she'll make these papel picado out of clay that dangle.
That's so cool.
Really, really cool stuff. So yeah, that's just some examples of some of the vendors that we partner with at our logo, Barbacoa, Hippie Glass, Vibrant and Free. We also have a vendor that Veronica worked with when she's at the commission. He brings stuff in from Mexico, Gabriela. I found a ceramics person outside of Mexico City who she makes a lot of our ceramics and mugs that are custom made. I mean, it's really been awesome to like really kind of build this network of vendors.
So it's safe to say you're really tapped in for with all that. But within the same vein, we're at Maria's restaurant. You're doing the medal for them.
Yes.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
Okay, so it's funny. What turned me on to Maria's was years ago when I was doing just blogging. I did a series kind of like this, Nate. I interviewed people. It's called Que Pasa. And so one of the folks I interviewed was dear friend Andy Benavides, who has 1906 Gallery right down the street, Benavides Framing. And so I said, okay, interviewing Andy about his story. I said, "Now, where's your favorite taco place in town?" So this is, big shout out to Andy on this one. He goes, "Well, Maria's right around the corner. I'm there practically every day. I can't believe we haven't run into Andy. He's here." And so I've been eating here. Well, he knows Maria very well, and so he's making her first ever. He designed it,
right.
And he's like, "Garrett, we got to make this medal." So I said, "Okay." So he came up with this design for this right here. This item is known as the puff chilada. And I don't know about you, Nate. Whenever I go to a lot of places, I get like the combo meal with enchiladas. I always do this. I throw an enchilada in the tortilla with some beans and rice,
really?
and then throw some green salsa on it. That's my thing. I like to do. The whole enchilada was like kind of like this, but they took it to the next level, threw it in a puppy taco, and so like the puff chilada with a beef fajita. This has been featured by my dear friend Jose Relat, the taco editor at Texas Monthly.
Who we also had on the season.
Oh, you had Jose?
Yes.
Oh man, Jose is dude. He is a world class guy. Yes. One of my favorite people. I've known him for a very long time. And yeah, so Andy came up with this amazing design that Maria's going to have during Fiesta. So when you come in, not only grab a taco from Maria, but grab a Fiesta medal from her. Absolutely. It's going to look really, really cool.
Absolutely. Well, without further ado, I guess there's really not much more to get into it. We've asked you about the shop, we've asked you about the medals, the hats, things like that.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess what's left is just for us to sit here and enjoy these tacos. So thank you guys so much for tuning into our Fiesta-themed Taco Talk episode. I'm Nate.
My mouth's full. I'm Garrett.
This is Garrett. And Viva Fiesta San Antonio.
Viva Fiesta, Viva MySA, and Viva Nate. Watch his shows. Watch him as he trains for this marathon. He's going to do good things out there in that marathon. I'll tell you what.
Appreciate it so much, man. Thank you.